Ayan. Hello, hello, hello guys. It's a good morning. Okay. Hello Manay Lord. Maraming salamat Manay Lord. Thank you for coming. Kasi naka-open na siya. Oo nga Manay eh. Ayan Manay, magbaba ako ng hagdan kung gusto mong umakyat. Ayan. Walang tulugan ito Manay Lord. Hindi ako matutulog kasi bukas is Friday. At ako ay may ginagawa. And Manaylo, nagbaba po ako ng hagdan kung gusto mo pong umakyat. Ayan, welcome, welcome. Pasok lang mga kapatid. Manaylor, maaga pa dyan ka Manaylor, mga 11 pa lang, 11:22. Dito sa akin ay alas 12:22 na. Mag-share ko ng aking screen. Ako po Manaylor ay magla-live hanggang bukas ng umaga kasi ako ay magla-live trading. Ayan. Share screen. Ayan. This and that. Ayan po. Hello Sir Aris, maraming salamat sa iyong patamsak. Ayan po, nagsasuffer na ngayon ng aking natirang $40. Sayang ang $40, naging $8 na lang kasi napabayaan ng 2 gabi. Ginawang laruan ng wala sa ayos. Titingnan ko kung kaya ko pa siyang ibangon. Thank you Sir Aris sa iyong patamsak. Download terminal. Hindi ata to pwede dito. Hindi ata to pwede. Hindi. Okay. Light4X. This file is designed for PC use only. Sir Aris, maraming sa iyong patamsak at patambay. Thank you po. Analytics. Andyan, Ikit. Nababa ko na yung hagdan. Ibaba ko ulit. Hagdan, hagdan. Ayan, naikit. Yan. Thank you, Sarah, sa iyong patambay. Maraming salamat sa 6 million viewers. Ayan, naikit na kita mo. Parang andyan na. Naalala ko dati yung hindi makababa yung hagdanan ko. Ayaw mag-paste. Ayan na ang ating Ikit Katcha. Ayan, welcome Ikit.
Ayan,
salamat. Ayan na ang ating Ikit Katcha. Ayan, welcome Ikit. Salamat. Ano oras ka matutulog, Ikit?
No.
Thank you, Sir Ari, sa iyong patambay. Ba't ang dito pa yan sila? Gabing-gabi na. Uy, umuwi na kayo't masipagtulugan. Yung anak ng Arabo nangangapit bahay pa. Ano ginagawa mo, Ikit?
Ito, mag-prepare lang at ako yung
Matutulog na? Akala ko ikaw yung sumasayaw kanina, Ma'am Lisa, sa LS ni Ikit. Di ba pala? Oo nga sumasagot ako sa'yo sa baba. Tapos, hindi mo ako pinapansin. Yung pinapansin mo yung sumasayaw, ako nang ako. Tapos sabi ko, andito ako sa baba. Thank you, Sir Aris. Tito Amboy, thank you sa iyong pagdalaw. Naglalag kasi message ko lang nababasa ko. Ay, ganon. Kaya pala. Okay lang yan. 'Di ba? Galing ni Manay sumayaw. Yan. Walang tulugan ako ngayon, Tito Amboy, hanggang umaga. Kasi ibabangon ko ang aking naghihingalong account. Tapos malabo yung video, di ko mabasa. Ay, ganon. Siguro yung pinapanooran mo. Yung ano siguro, kasi dito sa akin kanina okay naman sila. Jo Mariga, tamsak na po. Salamat. Play ko mamaya mga videos mo. O, Tito Amboy, salamat. Naka-play ka pa rin dito sa akin ngayon. Labas ko muna. Jakitan ko muna si Jo Mariga. Jo Marie G.A. Jo Mariga. Melvin Isidro, tamsak na po. Maraming salamat. Uy, ang dami niyan. Kanino yan? Ninja ba yan? Sa'yo, Sir Aris? Para mga ninja to. Ayan, may jacket na si Jo Marie at saka si Melvin Isidro. May tumae. Naku, patay tayo nito. Si Rillias! Sabay ganun. Si Rillias, welcome! Doon ako sa may wifi para mabilis. Salamat Tito Amboy. Kahipak mo. Teka lang, kahipak mo, parang si Sir Ray? O si Katagatan? Sa kahipak mo, si Sir Ray yata ito eh. Hello Sir Ray, ka ba yan Sir Ray? Bagong kaibigan po, Katcha, galing kay Iket. Pero si Melvin, yung tumae, parang si Sir Ray ito eh. Husi Katagatan, Tamsakdan, host. Maraming salamat! Ang dami! Ayan, may mga Mark Robert. Hello, Madam Ranjoy Aris. Salamat sa iyo, Madam Ranjoy. Mega love shout out to all, guys. Sabi ni Jose Katagatan. Kahipak mo. Ano yung kahipak? Ayan, maraming salamat, guys. Sir Aris, maraming salamat sa iyong paghakot ng iyong alagad, sir. Host, pahingiin ng ayuda. Pag-graduate host ng 700. Sige, ibaba mo daw yung bahay mo, si Katagatan. Tingnan natin, ha? Pwede natin, kasi konti lang sa akin. Tapos yung aking, teka, si Jo Marie Madjadas. Ayan, dinalaw kita. Ay, dikit na ako sa'yo. Si Jokong Proud. Eh? Jokong, ikaw to? Si Katagatan? O, Jokong, umakyat ka dito. Etchosero, ni-etchos ako. Dali. Salamat, host. Ay, ang bilis, ang galing. Ari Sampayan, tamsak na po. Ayan, Jokong, piniplay ko. Tapos sinamsakan na kita, Jokong. Hala, ang bilis niya. Ari Sampayan, mayroon ka na pong jacket. Maraming salamat sa iyong patamsak. Uy, asaan ka na? Raylene, mega love shoutout host. Good morning, Madam Raylene. Good morning. Mega love shoutout din sa'yo. Jokong, nasaan ka na ngayon? Ba't ang tagal mong hindi nagparamdam dito sa YT ko? Team Virgin, tamsak. Ay, grabe na mga... Ang dami. Pinangisda ako lang host kasi busy siya lagi. Ah, okay. Tulog pa siya host. Ah, si Jose Katagatan, iba ka. Tapos, pinangisda mo si Jokong. Morvera TV, dati na akong dikit sa'yo, Morvera.
Uy, Marbera, wala ka sa aking live kanina. Why?
Morvera, dati na akong dikit sa'yo. Tinamsakan ko lang yung binaba mong video, Morvera. Ay, baha. Sino ba to? May isa akong tuwad, Iket.
Hayaan mo na yan. Kasi gising
Oo nga.
siya. Gising
Jose
siya.
Katagatan, oo, lalabs. Thank you, thank you.
Wala pa yan kanina
Oo, mayroon na, may nagbigay na isa. Salamat na lang din, pumasok siya at nag-view.
Viewers
Diba?
mo pa rin yun.
Tingnan mo si Madam Ranjoy na mimingwet.
Madam Ranjay, hindi ka na napunta sa akin. Hindi na kita natawagan kasi busy na ako.
Tulog pa pala si Jokong. Oy, Sir Aris, ang bilis ni Jokong, Sir Aris. Nung kailan lang pumupunta to sa'yo si Jokong, Sir Aris, mga nasa 24 pa lang siya. Tapos panay siya report sa akin, nalalagasan daw siya. Oo nga, dagdag views nga siya. Kaya salamat din. Ako nga, 22 wad ko. Actually, baka marami yan. Isa pa lang ang pumasok, Etchos. O, diba? Yaan mo lang. Tamsak na Virgin 2. Kaya si Raris ba tong mga Virgin 1, 2?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, ganda gabi, sabi ni... Ganda gabi, Sir Aris. Kahipak mo, sabi niya. Thank you, Sir Aris. Ano, mag-i-expect talaga ako niya na may mga ganyan pag nag-LS ako. 'Di ba? Normal lang 'yan. Pero basta ang mahalaga maiangat ko yung naghihingalo kong account. Si Virgin 3, ayan, ang dami, Sir Aris. Thank you naman, sir. Biruin mo nung pumupunta to si Jokong nung nakaraan kay Sir Aris, 24 lang, tapos pinagtatawanan ko yan sila, sabay sila ni Indaylin. Kasi mag-report siya sa akin, bakit daw ang dami niyang dinikitan, hindi naman daw siya tinidikitan. Tapos ang dami daw niya sina-shoutout, hindi naman bumabalik. Patamsak dikit po, iwan lang ng bakas. Ayan, may Virgin 4 na si Sir Aris. Ayan, guys. Jose, patamsak kay kay kahipak mo, tapos padikitan na rin siya. Si Morvera. Padikitan si Morvera. Siya ay legit na legit.
Bagong monetize lang yan, madam.
Ay, na-monetize na siya. Ang galing naman.
Yes.
Uy, ang gaganda ng mga niya, oh. Mga videos niya, ang dadami ng mga views. May 1.9K. Ay ba, ang gagaling ng kanyang views.
Si Morvera ba? Ay, matagal na yata. Ay, iba yata si ano. Sandali. Malaki na kasi bayan yan eh. Hindi, si Morvera matagal lang ba na ano. Wait lang.
1.32 lang naman ang niya.
Kama-monetize lang niya. Nagbunga na daw ang mga pagpupuyat niya. Alam mo, madam, alam mo itong mga shell na ganito? Ginagawa kong damit ko. Damit, yan.
Mga yan? Gawa mo lang yan?
Halimbawa, pag gawin kong palda, gawin kong damit lang, pag ganun lang. Itali ko lang.
Yung ganyan lang, tapos arte-artihan mo lang, itatali mo lang, or lagyan mo ng pin? Ganyan? Patingin?
Ano nangyari sa akin?
Walang nangyari sa'yo, ah. Patingin, ikit.
Ganito, yung shell yan.
Ay, oo.
Di ba ganyan siya?
Oo.
Tapos, itutupi ko yan. Gawin kong skirt ganon. Ipapalda ko siya, ganyan. Iganyan ko lang siya. Tapos, itatali na lang. Ito yung damit ko kanina.
Oh, yan na yon.
Ito yung palda ko kanina. Di ba?
Oo. Pero, parang nakakatakot, hindi ba nahuhulog, ikit? Hindi mo naman siya nilalabas, no? Diyan lang sa bahay nyo?
Dito lang sa bahay. Minsan, pag nag-swimming, itong suot.
Oo. Kasi pag sa labas, parang nakakatakot.
Mga manipis lang kasi. Yung siya. Oh. Wala siyang garter.
Oo.
Pero i-ano mo siya, halimbawa, isusuot mo siya. Halimbawa, kung hanggang ganyan lang. Idadamit ko siya. Tapos,
ang daming patamsak ni Sir Aris. Thank you naman, Sir Aris. Thank you, thank you.
Di ba, pag nagganyan, kayo wala akong bra eh.
Tapos, one-sided, no? Tapos mag-bra ka lang, okay na?
Oo. Ano ka ba? Damit daw nang nagtitipid.
Pero 'di ba? Hello Brian Daligos, ay si Sir Aris din pala to, no. Thank you Sir Aris. Ang dami ni Sir pinatamsak.
Marami
Thank you
yan,
naman.
Sir Aris, kaya na niya magpaayuda.
Ang dami niyang alagad.
Marami nga yan. Pero hindi niya dinikit sa akin yan.
Ayan. Raylene, mag-iwan ka lang ng bakas kay Morvera. Nandyan lang yata siya. Morvera, nadikitan ka na daw ni Raylene. Raylene pa ba? Patingin nga ng iyong bahay, Raylene. Meron ako guys legit na mga video na mga channel pero
Ito, damit din ito sa Madam Lisa. Damit din ito. Pwedeng palda, pwedeng ano. Ganyan lang.
pwedeng palda, pwedeng blouse.
Ah,
Walang dito sa baba. Patingin?
wala. Ganyan lang.
Talian mo lang din.
Hindi, ganyan. Pag halimbawa, nag-leggings ka, yan, ganyan lang. Oh, wala na. Hindi mo na makita.
Hindi kasi ako ikit marunong sa mga ganyan-ganyan ba? Walang alam. Hello, Mix Creative Channel. Maraming salamat sa iyong pagdalaw.
Kasi buti-butiin
Ayan.
ito. May butin, may button siya. Oh.
Oo. Pero yung mga ganyan kasi, di ba, pwede siyang anuhan, pwede siyang lagyan ng mga perdible dito pag ano, may mga design
Ayan
na
na.
perdible, no?
Ayun na. Pwede mo nang
Ang galing.
i-ano sa isapaw sa lamesa yung yung damit mo.
Pwede, oo nga. Pwede mapang tabon-tabon.
Ngayon, kung gusto mo namang skirt siya, Madam Lisa, kasi nga may ano siya, tingnan mo. Alam mo na. 'Di ba may ano siya?
May button.
Ayan, skirt na siya. Ah.
Tapos ikit may mga pins ka lang yan na may mga beads ano or may mga kulay na pins, 'di ba? Pwede na, maganda na.
Oo, nasa pagdadala lang kung marunong ka.
Oo. Pero parang nakakatakot 'yan nagko-commute ka, dapat naka-taxi ka lagi kasi 'pag naka-commute baka mamaya, 'di ba?
O, 'di ba palda na?
Oo. Oo
Tapos,
nga.
gusto mong gawin damit, di naman matatanggal yan. Oh, gawin mo ng damit.
O di kaya gawin mong
Ano mo.
tube. Pwede
Oo,
na
gawin
siyang
mo.
tube.
Oo. Oh. 'Di ba?
Ayan, kapihak mo. Salamat daw sabi ni Rilen. Ayan guys, magdikitan lang dyan sa baba.
Ay, nandiyan si Mix Creative Channel. Oy,
Ayan o.
Mix, mayroong Grand LS si Sir Aris. May Grand LS siya sa susunod na Friday.
Ay, ano ko pala dito, ipin ko pala dito, no? Para maanuhan nila, no? Next Friday.
Ano, darling Mix, merong Grand LS si Sir Aris. Sabihin mo kay Renz.
Ipin nga natin dito yon. Ay, wala bang walang teaser nun si Sir Aris?
Ano?
Wala siyang maliit na video para doon?
Hindi, meron. Pero yan parang invitation pa lang yan. Pero pag nandun na, ilalapag niya doon. Sa araw ng kanyang Grand LSI, doon pa lang niya ilalagay, madam.
Ah, ito. Oo. Grand LS Invitation. And
Yes.
your short video sa gustong mag-join sa ating ayan.
Ayan, Madam Mix. Ayan, Rilin, pwede mong ayain ang isang baryo para umattend sa LS Sir Aris. May mga pa-Gcash siya, may mga cash siyang mapanalunan, at siyempre may mga pag-game, hula doon, hula dito, and then bring me, magba-prepare ka na ng yung awit na bahay, kubo, ayun, mga gulay-gulay, kahit munti ang halaman doon. Ay, sari, ganun, yung mga limbawa, ugot patola, ayun, i-prepare mo, Relin. Alam mo, madam, nagdaldal ako, dapat natulog na ako. Mahilig kasi ako yung mga pang fashion dress lang, Madam Lisa.
Oo nga, halata nga. Kahit yung way ng pananamit mo, ikit, mahilig ka sa may mga design, ano? Ako kasi wala. Tamang t-shirt lang ako, tamang formal, tama na ako doon.
May mga t-shirt din ako pag gusto ko ng rugged, ganun. Gusto ko yung, ewan ko, basta.
Tamang blouse lang ako pag pang trabaho na kailangan sa opisina. Tamang ganun lang ako, tapos wala na.
Yung mga,
Mixed
tulad ng mga
breed. Sana
mag-swimming
marami
kami,
sila. Ah.
kita mo, yung mga pang-swimming ko, ganun.
Oo. Alam mo ba, ano pa nga ako, first time ko kahit mag-swimming ikit, first time ko nag-swimsuit, nung magkasama kami ng asawa ko sa swimming pool, yun lang yun. Tapos,
Oh.
dito sa Jordan, yun, yung last na nagpaakaba kami last month. Tapos sa Manila, isang beses lang din, ay 2 beses sa Manila. Parang ilang beses pala ako nagsuot ng swimsuit kasi mas mahilig ako magsuot ng mga shorts pag naliligo, yung pang swimming na shorts at saka pang swimming din na t-shirt.
Marami,
Ilang
may,
yun ako.
gusto ko kasi pag nag-swimming, yung comfort, yung ano ka, yung madali kang matuyo, yung damit ko, gano'n.
Oo, madaling
Madaling matuyo,
ipin ko
gano'n.
siya. Oo.
Yung may ganito, yung mga may ganyan, madam. Mga may ganyan, na palda, pero doon pala sa ilalim niya ay
Shorts.
merong panty, ganyan.
Pang ano yan? Pang swimming?
Pang swimming, mga ganyan. Kasi mayroon siyang
Maganda.
di ba palda siya? Palda.
Oo.
Ano siya, dress siya, pero doon sa ano niya, kasi nga yung tela niya manipis lang. Meron siyang
Oo.
panty. Ito
Ang
yung
ganda, no? Ang ganda.
ang panty niya.
Dating dikit na Aristeo Garinal. Ano, Raylene, mayroong Grand LS yan si Sir Aris sa Friday. Attend kayo?
Yes, sa susunod na Friday, hindi itong, di ba bukas
Hindi
Friday? Next
bukas.
Friday.
Hindi bukas, hindi ngayon ha. Ngayon kasi Friday na, di ba? Hindi ngayon, next Friday. Mayroong mga pa-premyo, may mga palaro. Attend kayo, Raylene, tapos invite mo yung mga friends mo.
Eto, palda na pang swimming, madam. Tingnan.
Ay, ang cute. Ang galing mo naman, Iket. Napaka-fashionista mo.
Tapos nung ano na naghubad na, naka-duster ako ganito magdagat, tapos naka-belt pa, naka-shoes ako, ay, linti ka talaga, sabi ganun. Hubad, sabi ko ganun, hubad, sabi ko ganun. Tapos di ma-exte, ano, saan ang mata mo? Sabi ko, sabi ko ganun, maglaway ka dyan. Tapos magsayaw na ako diyan ng parang lasing na, sige.
Ikit, umiinom ka din?
Yes.
Ako kasi umiinom din. Pero hindi ako pwedeng tumagal sa inuman kasi minsan nagkaka-allergy ako. Papatayin man ako ng alak, lalo na pag red wine.
But I'm not drunk, but I'm drinking.
Pag magkasama kayo ng asawa mo, umiinom ka?
Oo, umiinom ako. Pero siya hindi na umiinom, ako lang.
Baliktad na ngayon.
Oo. Di ba, nagbakasyon kami kasi hindi na siya pwedeng uminom kasi nga nagkasintaw siya ng kidney. Kasi may diabetes. Ngayon, pinuntahan ako ng mga bakla, mga charot. Ay, dadayo kami, pauwi namin, oy, wag kang maglasing, di baling ako maglasing, hatid mo ako sa bahay, sabi ko. Madlang siya, pero ako, lasing na talaga eh. Pag uwi namin, sabi nga noon, lasing na lasing ako, pagbagsak sa kama. Sabi niya, gusto ko ng hindi na makakabayo si Kalbo, kay plastado. Sabi niya, baliktad ng mundo, sabi niya, babae nang nakikidayong iinom, sabi niya, lalaking naiiwan. Nilalayasan ko yan. Pag umuwi kami ng Pinas. Oo. Kasi alam mo, yung mga bakla, masayang kasama.
Oo, masaya man talaga silang
Siyempre,
kasama.
ilibre mo lang sila, masaya na sila, di ba? Ilibre mo
Oo,
sila, masaya na
oo.
sila. Tapos jamming. Oh, isang Red Horse ka lang ha. May limit ka. Pag sa bahay ka uminom, kahit isang test, maglaklakin mo. Pero pag dumayo tayo, isang Red Horse lang, enough. May ano nga, may limit. Kasi
Ah,
magmaneho pa ng motor.
dito mo yan patulogin? Punasan mo yan. Mabuti, kitang bait niya, no?
Mm. Mabait man yung ano, mabait man yung mga baking na, mas gusto ko nga yung mga baking kaibigan.
Oo,
Kaysa mga
mababait na
lalaki.
siya. Mas
Kasi,
okay naman
kasi
sila
sabi
kasama.
ng asawa ko, kapag tunay na ano, kapag hindi nireregla, pag hindi nag-i-spot ang ano, kaibigan mo, hindi ka pwede, sabi niya. Ibig sabihin, hindi ako pwede sa tunay na lalaki makipagkaibigan. Pwede sa nireregla daw.
Di Beke, pwede. Good morning po, host. Daan lang po. Thumbs up. Busy po kasi join po uli. Keep safe po. Sige, may kagiyami. May kagiyami? Kagiyama. Natabunan pala. Maraming salamat sa iyong pa-thumbs up. Sige, tuloy mo lang ang work.
Kaya nung nakilala ko si Sir Aris, hindi ko na yan iniwan, natutuwa lang ako ba.
Ano ako, nung nakilala ko siya, Iket, 2000, ano ba yon? 2020 na ba? Hindi ko lang, parang 2009. O, parang 2020. Oo, parang
20.
2020 ko na siya nakilala. Ano pa
Ako rin.
siya? Nag-aano siya, nag-ELS ako, natatawa ako niyan kasi 'di ba may pakandila siya.
Oo.
Tapos ano, lagi ako magtambay sa kanya mga alas 10 ng umaga pa noon. Umaga noon pag nag-ELS si Sir Aris.
Kasi
Opo,
lockdown eh.
join po ako ulit. Thank you po. Sige, salamat. Oh, bakit nagmamayan, Day? Tas ano?
Sino tinatawag niya?
Ha?
Sino tinatawag?
May bata na yung kapitbahay namin na anak ng mag-asawang Arabo. Kasi o ganitong oras, so nasa labas pa yung mga anak nila. Ayan, dinala niya dito sa kwarto namin. Dito daw patulogin. Ayan, nagmamamama na siya. Minsan binibitbit din namin yan pag kami nag-grocery. Binibitbit din namin.
Oo. Ano yan, ang tatay niya na Rabo?
Oo, mag-asawang Arabo. Kaya lang, sila yung landlady namin. Sila yung may-ari ng building ba? Na tinitirahan namin. Ano yan? Ano siya, Day? Siradaan ko na ano. Kalas, naim ya, Juan. Juan, naim ya la. Okay, okay. Tay, mashi. Yala, otisote. Yala, naim. Shh. Hello, biyahe ni Jono. Magandang umaga po.
Biyahe ni Jono, nag-ano ako kanina, nag-LS ako.
Ayan, biyahe ni Jono. Nag-ilis kanina si Iket ka. Tsaka, musta na biyahe ni Jono? Esh. Shh. Inti otisote. Otisote ya, Joan. Kamusta na biyahe ni Jono? Matagal-tagal din akong hindi naka-LS naka-LS na wala si biyahe ni Jono ah. Ano daw? Lisa? Ruhinayem. Yala ya Joan, ruhin mama o baba yala pitinayem. Sayang host, kagigising ko lang. Bakit sayang? Good morning sa'yo. Anak kalikihon. La. Inti makalikihon. Ruhi bilbet o naime? Yala? Okay lang, host. Gwapo pa rin. Oo nga, singer pa rin. Magaling to si biyahe ni Jono Iket kumanta eh. Inti
Okay.
uskuti. Inti uskuti ya binti halal. Yala ruhi bulbet. Ay sa hala. Ay ha. Alauna na, nasa galaan pa sila. Shh! Ayan, biyahe ni Jono may mga bago dyan. Baka hindi ka pa dikit kay Rilen. May bahay sa dyan, mag-iwan ka lang ng bakas. Nandyan din si Morvera at saka si Jokong. Proud OFW. Baka hindi ka pa dikit sa kanila. Pwede ka makipagdikitan, kuya, ay, biyahe ni Jono. Esya, Juri. Esya, Juan. Ba't nagwala yan, Day?
Ayan guys, 12 million in the house.
Yan, biyahe ni Jono. Nagbaba ng bahay si kahipak mo. Patamsak dikit po, iwan lang bakas. O, ginagaya ka na niya, oh. Ginagaya ka niya, sabi mo na, ay puta, ginaya ka niya. Na, ginagaya ka niya. Juan. Ada Rohiyala.
Hindi ako masyadong nakatambay kay Norman kanina kasi nagmarket pa ako.
Nandoon mo kami kanina. Si Bless nga, ano?
Si Bless naman, dati ng umaga, hindi ako makadiretso kasi nga may customer na, di ba? Nagsayaw-sayaw kami doon.
Nawawala ako na parang naghihina yung net ko. When, Bobby?
Ayan guys, 13 million in the house. May kalam shout out at ako'y may ibig.
Akala ko nga ikit matutulog ka na. Habibi, habibi.
Ayan guys, maglablaban kayo dyan. Maglablaban. Maglablaban kayo dyan guys ha. Magdikitan kayo at ang ating co-host ay nahulog. Nahulog ka ah.
Oo, nawawala-wala yung net ko, Iket. Isa na ako.
Okay lang kasi nandyan naman yung akin. Nakatambay na
Kahit
lang sa'yo.
ako, Morbera, done to you, sabi ni biyahe ni Jono. Mandirigma ni Brian, maraming salamat sa iyong pagdalaw. Ganit, ano kasi, pagka, lalo na ito, Iket, pagka hindi live stream yung ginagamit ko, di ba kagabi, isang oras lang. Isang oras lang, tapos namatay na. Ay,
Hindi kapag kapag gusto mong ituloy dyan at may nakatambay, kung nahulog ka, hayaan mo na lang kung nandyan ako. Okay? Basta nandyan lang yung ko, madam. Kahit na magdamag yan, nandyan yan. Kung hindi mamamatay yung net ko, magdamag. Kasi naka-on siya eh.
Mama!
Natulog ka na, Iket.
Mama!
Juwin.
Mama!
Sintit sabi hon. Mandirigma, wait ako kung gumalaw diket ko, migo. Ayan, Mandirigma, dinidikitan ka ni biyahe ni Jono. Ang galing ng mga video ni Morbera, ang dami niyang mga views.
Ayan guys, para hindi kayo ring dito ang mga totoong banana ha.
Maganda yan, Iket.
Hindi ang totoong banana guys ha.
Biyahe ni Juno, mag-ayuda ako sa iyo ha. Mayroon akong bago na hindi nadikit sa iyo.
Ito ang itlog ng banana ha. Hija.
Ano yan? Biyahe ni Jono? Nandito ako sa video mo, biyahe ni Jono na murang pabahay sa biyahe ni Jono. Dan sa'yo, biyahe ni Jono, sabi ni Mandirigma ni Ryan. Mandirigma ni Ryan, saglit lang ha. Mag-aayuda din ako sa'yo. Tapusin ko lang si biyahe ni Jono.
Guys,
Kahit
magbakas lang
ako.
kayo sa aking video. Bukas ko na kayo anuin. Suplikan.
Ayan guys, padikit ng ating co-host sa Iket Katcha. Hindi pala ako nagbababa ng mga bahay, no? Hindi ko talaga naiisip yan, Iket. Ayan, magbaba ko ng mga bahay. Saglit lang.
Sabihin
Tapusin
mo
ko lang
sila
ito si
ang magbaba
Biaki.
ng bahay. Kasi
Ha?
mahina yung net ko.
Ano yan, Iket?
Sabihin mo sa kanila na free lapagan para hindi magputol yung net mo.
Sige. Sige guys, maglapagan lang kayo dyan at magdikitan. Andito na maingay kasi itong aking bisita. Maingay ka, Juan. Nagbalik na po ako gamit ito, maya balikan, patamsak dikit po, iwan lang bakas. Ayan. Mandirigma, dan din, migo, full pack, sabi ni biyahe ni Juno. Biyahe ni Juno, nandito ako ngayon sa iyong video. Murang pabahay sa biyahe ni Juno. Ano ka po, ahinti ka ba, biyahe ni Juno? Ahinti ka ng bahay? Magahod siya, no?
Hi.
Hada, hada. Ay, hindi ka pala ng bahay. Saan ka po? Saan ang area ka? Taga Iloilo ako. Meron ka ba doon? So, ay ganun. Wala akong bahay.
Hello, Miss.
Dikit na sa'yo pala ang iba ko, biyahe ni Jono. 967 ka ngayon. Titingnan ko pang iba ko kung may bago kasi akong 3 yata, hindi pa to dikit sa'yo. In CR host. Okay. Anong ano yan? Sa anong pabahay yan, biyahe ni Jono? Ay, halos dikit ko na pala sa'yo. Si ano lang, si Tiger Eye lang hindi nakadikit sa'yo at saka si Red Eye. Dalawa lang hindi ko na idikit sa'yo. Ayan, playing sa'yo ngayon para idikit ko. Anong pabahay po yan, sir? Ang ganda ng mga videos mo, ang daming views, no? Humihina yung no. Sa pag-ibig. Pero I mean, ano siya, ang tawag nito? Yung, ano ba tawag doon sa kanila? Yung sa mga camellia, ano pa ba? Mga ano pa nga yung nagpapabahay? Yan, 168 ka na ngayon? Tahiti. Kagahod sa iyan, no? Maingay si mahina signal host. Ako ba mahina ang signal? O mahina talaga ang signal ko? Ako ba o ikaw din? Mahina po talaga ang signal ko kasi nahuhulog nga ako. Ayan, 12 million viewers. Maraming salamat. Yung Alina. Skuti, Johan. Shh. Bulong-bulong pa talaga. Rilen, OTW sa'yo, sabi ni Mandirigma ni Ryan. Ayan, Mandirigma ni Ryan, ididikit ko to sa yung aking mga alagad. Mga legit din naman ito. 12 million viewers. Maraming salamat po, guys. Humihina yung net ko kasi naghahati sila ng 2 laptop, nag-aagawan. May piniplay kasi ako ngayon. Laeb. Ya Joan, Ma'am Rilin, ano hindi kita mamaya? Idikitan din kita mamaya. Saha. Ayan, Mandirigma ni Ryan. King Ryan Miller. Nasa bahay mo ako ngayon. A simple thank you vlog. Ayan guys, magdikitan lang po dyan. 13 million viewers in the house. Maraming salamat po. Magdikitan lang po kayo dyan. Mag-iwan lang po ng bakas sa mga inyong didikitan para kayo ay mabalikan nila. Shh. King Ryan Miller, Dan dikit na pasukli po. Salamat, Lods. Rilin, pababa ulit, Rilin, ang iyong bahay. Didikitan din kita nitong aking mga alagad para pang-ayuda ko sa inyo.
Mama. Hi, Mama. Daddy.
Ano daw siya? Bardane? Welcome, Rilen. Maraming salamat din sa iyong pabidyo dyan. At salamat sa iyong pakikipagdikitan. Mandirigma ni Ryan, Dan Dikit, Rilen, Idol. Si Ryan, isa pa lang po ang naidikit ko sa inyo. Friday ngayon, kailangan maisara ko ito ng New York 6 p.m., Berlin 12 p.m. Okay, Tokyo, London. Tingnan natin. Salamat, Idol Ryan, sabi ni Rilen. London, 11 p.m. Tokyo, 7 a.m. 8, 9. 2 oras na lang. Ayan, Rilen, nasa iyong bahay ngayon ang aking isang alagad. Guys, hindi ako nag-iiwan ng bakas, ha? Nagla-like lang ako tapos mag-ano. Ayan, si Lino Timugan. Bakit ito nandito? Mantirigma ni Ryan, pag mag-iwan ka lang ng bakas kay Katcha Vlog, siya po ay matutulog na ngayon. Mastan eh. Ayan, summary 109, Selva, foreign spread, market sentiment, volatility. Use GPY Japan's yen.
Hi. Ah. Hi, boss.
The pair may resume growth because the Japanese pair had reduced dynamic this week. The decline to 109.10 was replaced by the growth and restoration of lost position. Overall recommendation active buy, market sentiment, tingnan natin. This GPY pair is trading above the 109.40 to 109. Support area maintaining a long-term uptrend. The bulls are expecting new fundamental drivers to continue to rise to the 110.63 area. Issuing corrective gains against JPY recovering from local loss since August 4 after a sharp decline at the end of the last week. USD is trying to re-eco after the release of disappointing data on consumer confidence in the US at the end of the last week. Ayan, meron tayong mga pagpapasihan. Nahulog si Iket Katsa. Ayan, nahulog po ang ating co-host. At ako ang naiiwan, okay lang. Nawala yung kanyang internet, kaya siya nahulog, sigurado. Antok na rin ako actually. USD JPY pair had a binkish dynamic this week. The decline to 109.10 was replaced by the growth and restoration of lost position. Yesterday, the rate tested 110.15, more 6 by 8. Due to the U.S. Federal Reserve meeting minutes, the official plan to reduce the volume of asset purchase by the end of this year, but this decrease will not be harbinger of an imminent rate hike since despite significant growth, rates and employment has not reached the level necessary for this. JPY came under pressure from poor July data on the export of Japanese products. Ayan guys, 10 million viewers in the house. Maraming salamat. Ayan, pangalawa sa iyo, mandirigma ni Ryan, King Miller. King Ryan Miller. Pagkatapos, didiretso ko na sa iyo, Rilen. Check ko na rin kay kapihak mo kung ako ba'y dikit na sa iyo dito. Yung aking inaayuda. The price has retreated downward today but may resume growth after the release of data on U.S. initial jobless claims, which are expected to be positive. The indicator may decrease from 375K to 363K. The price has retreated downward today but may resume growth after the release of data on U.S. initial jobless, which are expected to be positive. The indicator may decrease from 375 to 363. So pag ang indicator ay nagbaba pa, mas lalong positive. Pero pag ito ay tumaas, then it will be a negative result. Pero tingnan pa rin natin yung ibang indicators. Support and resistance, the price is still close to the Bollinger Bands midline at 109.84. Its breakout allows growth to 110.54. The downward channel upper line, the K-bearish level is 109.37 Mori. Consolidation below allows a decline to 108.98 June lows. Technical indicator don't give a single signal. Bollinger Bands reverse downward, MACD grows in negative zone, but stochastic reverse upward from the oversold zone. Ayan guys, magte-trade po tayo live. Isisikapin natin maibalik sa ayos itong aking $8 na naghihingalo. $8 yun na lang yung natira. So it's a challenge. Ayan, Rilen, nandito na ngayon ang aking pangalawang ayuda sa'yo. Support levels, ayan, saan ba tayo? So 109,840. 109,840. Ang support area is 109,375.
So,
684 ka na, Rilen. 684.
isa.
Welcome, welcome.
Ada. Ada.
Ayan, 191 like Rilen sa iyong new mukbang ito at ito ay pang 685 na siya.
Hi.
Min, dayo ginapangita si Jury. Min, bidek. Ha? Mushon, hiyale. Gago ka karon magibi na karon eh. Ano gid na to karon kinanay niya? Aw. Tawag sa nanay na dayo.
Mama. Mama nandun?
Bash push eh. Hindi ano sa habji. 685 na, Rilen. Yala, yala, rohi bilbet. Naim, anak nakaman bidid na miya Juan. La, shula, la. Baden, juri hada juri haram. Hiya mafi sa habdi hunak? Mush haram? Hay Shufi? Haram ya Juan. Haram. Hello, Madam May. Madam, welcome. Thank you, Madam, sa iyong pagdalaw, Madam. Madam, nagpi-play din ako sa iyo. Thank you, ha. Pag ano, Madam, laging busy. Ano ba yan? Mega love shout out, Madam. Ayan, Madam, kasi nag-ano ako ngayon. Nagtitrade ako, Madam, kaya medyo laging busy ako. Hindi ako masyadong nag-YT pag daytime. Kamusta, Madam? Tay, bay na Jay, ay na, Joanna, ay na.
Ay, Joanna, ija.
Ay, hayo. Yalla, good night, Joanna. Nabidinayim eh. Nabidinayim ka man, yalla, good night. Bukra ka man niya, Juri. Bye-bye. Abus Lisa, taali. Joan ka man. Ay, habibti. Joan ka man, taali, Busi. Papa kay Joan. Ira siya bidinayim ka man, yalla.
Good night. Bukra ka man, okay?
Kamusta ang school days, Madam? Pagod sa school, mga bata, hatid sundo. Oo nga, no? Nakikita ko nga yung ano mo. Parang pati ikaw nag-aaral na rin ngayon, ano? Morvira TV, nasa bahay mo ngayon ng aking isang alagad.
Bukra ka man, okay? Good night, Juana.
Bush.
Ayuni.
Ayun,
Abusini.
Eh, ano, Juan, Mafi, Bushi? Juan! Ano ka man, Mafi? Habibti ya Omri, ya Aini. Ya Aini, ya Omri.
بس أولاد
Habibti. Yala, good night. Ruhin na imi, yala.
ما في هذا. كربان.
Karban.
مين خربها؟
ليسا.
Patamsak ng premyo. Sige, Madam, baba mo, Madam. Ipin natin.
مروحتها.
Ayan.
أنا بكرة
Ano,
أسوي.
Rilin?
يلا.
Dikita nyo si Madam May Mayer. Siya ay laging nag-ELS at laging may palaro. Pero ngayon pagod si Madam. Kasi back to school ng mga kids. Ayan, dikitan nyo siya. Madam, pababa na yung premiere, please. Parang naiwan mo sa akin yung amoy ng bata. Tapang ng perfume. Sakit sa ilong. Ay, ako na pala, Madam. Ayan na, binabanam ni Madam. Ipin natin, Madam. Ipin ko para mapatamsakan natin. Tamsakan ko muna.
kinalagayan ko kay bakit magbalik ang bulak ko.
Ano na pala, madam, sa inyo? Face-to-face na ano?
Si Joanna lang dito.
Nakakamiss mo ganyan, ha?
Si Joanna lang nakasunod hindi takong sana. Tapos,
Ay, may pa-bingo ka mamaya. Maya, bingo ko 9 a.m. Pinas time. Win Gcash at overnight play kung may YT kayo. Ayan. O, sige, madam. Attend ako mamaya kasi parang wala akong balak matulog ngayon, madam. Ayan, i-replace ko yung nakapin. Ranjoy Katagatan. Thank you, Dan Lalabs. Ayan, maraming salamat sa iyo, Ranjoy. Ayan, guys. Ayan, may jacket ka na, Ranjoy. Thank you so much. Hindi ako matutulog, madam, kasi eto nakikita mo, ang aking trade ngayon ay bumagsak ng $8. Ano ako, madam, dito, nag-deposit ako ng 20, tapos naiangat ko siya ng 40, na-withdraw ko yung 16, then naiangat ko another ulit, the next day naiangat ko ulit ng 20, pero sa kagridihan ko, sa pagiging impulsive, patuloy akong nag-trade habang natutulog. Ayan, bumagsak siya. Hanggang kanina kahit nasa trabaho nag-trade ako na nag-trade. Ayan, $8 yung naiwan sa 20. Anyway, nakuha ko na yung $16. So, okay lang. Kahit matalo siya. Pero hanggat maaari, ayoko sana siyang malugi. Kaya, laruin ko siya hanggat, para maiangat ko ulit. Pero na-withdraw ko na naman na ang 16, pero okay lang. Kaya okay lang din. So, baga it's a winning trade na lang to. Pahingi ang kutsara. Ikaw lang?
oo.
Anong chocolate yan? Ay, anong cake yan?
Chocolate.
May mga nuts?
Mm.
Timpla tayo kape dahil. Gusto mo kape? Magtimpla ako? Madam, magtimpla muna ako kape saglit, ha? Magkakape. Sige po, pakainin mo muna. Magtitimpla muna ako ng kape.
employee that the ongoing relationship with the customer is more important than the sale of the individual product. He's reminding them of the big picture. When two parents are
Ay,
fed up with potty
nakakapun ka
training
pa talo ay
or
nabutaw
grades
ka
or
tulog.
failures,
Nagkikulit-kulit na
one
tayo.
reminds the other that the current difficult time is only a temporary season. Then they benefit from thinking big picture. Real estate developer Donald Trump quipped, "You have to think anyway, so why not think big?" Big picture thinking brings wholeness and maturity to a person's thinking. It brings perspective. It's like making the frame of a picture bigger, in the process expanding not only what you can see, but what you are able to do. Spend time with big picture thinkers, and you will find that they learn continually. Big picture thinkers are never satisfied with what they already know. They are always visiting new places, reading new books, learning new skills. And because of that practice, they often are able to connect with the unconnected.
Huwag balata ako
They are
nakita.
lifelong learners.
Ay,
To only
obo.
maintain a learner's attitude, I spend a few moments
Hindi nang
every day
lawas
thinking
nga,
about
amapin
my
na.
learning opportunities for the day. As I review my calendar and to-do list, knowing whom I will meet that day, what I will read, which meetings I will attend, I note where I am most likely to learn something. Then I mentally cue myself to look attentively for something that will improve me in that situation. If you desire to keep learning, I want to encourage you to examine your day and look for opportunities to learn. Listen intentionally. An excellent way to broaden your experience is to listen to someone who has expertise in an area where you don't. I search for such opportunities. One year I spoke to about 900 coaches and scouts at the Senior Bowl, where graduating football players participate in their last college game. I had the opportunity, along with my son-in-law, Steve Miller, to have dinner with NFL head coaches Dave Wonson and Butch Davis. It's not often that you get such an opportunity, so I asked them questions about teamwork and spent a lot of time listening to them. At the end of the evening, as Steve and I were walking to our car, he said to me, "John, I bet you asked those coaches 100 questions tonight." "If I'm going to learn and grow," I replied, "I must know what questions to ask and know how to apply the answers to my life." Listening has taught me a lot more than talking. When you meet with people, it's good to have an agenda so that you can learn. It's a great way to partner with people who can do things you can't. Big picture thinkers recognize that they don't know lots of things. They frequently ask penetrating questions to enlarge their understanding and thinking. If you want to become a better big picture thinker, then become a good listener. Look expansively. Writer Henry David Thoreau wrote, "Many an object is not seen, though it falls within the range of our visual ray, because it does not come within the range of our intellectual ray." Human beings habitually see their own world first. For example, when people arrive at a leadership conference put on by my company, Enjoy, they want to know where they're going to park, whether they will be able to get a good and comfortable seat, whether the speaker will be on, and if the breaks will be spaced right. When I arrive to speak at the same conference, I want to know that the lighting is good, the sound equipment is operating effectively, whether the speaker's platform will be close enough to the people, etc. Who you are determines what you see and how you think. Big picture thinkers realize there is a world out there besides their own, and they make an effort to get outside of themselves and see other people's worlds through their eyes. It's hard to see the picture while inside the frame. To see how others see, you must first find out how they think. Becoming a good listener certainly helps with that. So does getting over your personal agenda and trying to take the other person's perspective. Live completely. French essayist Michel de Montaigne wrote, "The value of life lies not in the length of days, but in the use we make of them. A man may live long, yet live very little. The truth is that you can spend your life any way you want, but you can spend it only once. Becoming a big picture thinker can help you to live with wholeness, to live a very fulfilling life. People who see the big picture expand their experience because they expand their world. As a result, they accomplish more than narrow-minded people, and they experience fewer unwanted surprises too, because they are more likely to see the many components involved in any given situation: issues, people, relationships, timing, and values. They are also therefore usually more tolerant of other people and their thinking. Why you should receive the wisdom of big picture thinking. Intuitively, you probably recognize big picture thinking as beneficial. Few people want to be closed-minded. No one sets out to be that way. But just in case you're not completely convinced, consider several specific reasons why you should make the effort to become a better big picture thinker. 1. Big picture thinking allows you to lead. You can find many big picture thinkers who aren't leaders, but you will find few leaders who are not big picture thinkers. Leaders must be able to do many important things for their people. See the vision before their people do. They also see more of it. This allows them to size up situations, taking into account many variables. Leaders who see the big picture discern possibilities as well as problems to form a foundation to build the vision. Once leaders have done that, they can sketch a picture of where the team is going, including any potential challenges or obstacles. The goal of leaders shouldn't be merely to make people feel good, but to help them be good and accomplish the dream. The vision, shown accurately, will allow leaders to show how the future connects with the past to make the journey more meaningful. When leaders recognize this need for connection and bridge it, then they can seize the moment when the timing is right. In leadership, when to move is as important as what you do. As Winston Churchill said, there comes a special moment in everyone's life, a moment for which that person was born. When he seizes it, it is his finest hour. Whether building roads, planning a trip, or moving in leadership, big picture thinking allows you to enjoy more success. People who are constantly looking at the whole picture have the best chance of succeeding in any endeavor. 2. Big picture thinking keeps you on target. Thomas Fuller, chaplain to Charles II of England, observed, "He that is everywhere is nowhere." To get things done, you need focus. However, to get the right things done, you also need to consider the big picture. Only by putting your daily activities in the context of the big picture will you be able to stay on target. As Alvin Toffler says, you've got to think about big things while you're doing small things, so that all the small things go in the right direction. 3. Big picture thinking allows you to see what others see. One of the most important skills you can develop in human relations is the ability to see things from the other person's point of view. It's one of the keys to working with clients, satisfying customers, maintaining a marriage, rearing children, helping those who are less fortunate, etc. All human interactions are enhanced by the ability to put yourself in another person's shoes. How? Look beyond yourself, your own interests, and your own world. When you work to consider an issue from every possible angle, examine it in the light of another's history, discover the interests and concerns of others, and try to set aside your own agenda, you begin to see what others see. And that is a powerful thing. 4. Big picture thinking promotes teamwork. If you participate in any kind of team activity, then you know how important it is that team members see the whole picture, not just their own part. Anytime a person doesn't know how his work fits with that of his teammates, then the whole team is in trouble. the better the grasp team members have of the big picture, the greater their potential to work together as a team. 5. Big picture thinking keeps you from being caught up in the mundane. Let's face it, some aspects of everyday life are absolutely necessary but thoroughly uninteresting. Big picture thinkers don't let the grind get to them because they don't lose sight of the all-important overview. They know that the person who forgets the ultimate is a slave to the immediate. 6. Big picture thinking helps you to chart uncharted territory. Have you ever heard the expression, "We'll cross that bridge when we come to it"? That phrase undoubtedly was coined by someone who had trouble seeing the big picture. The world was built by people who crossed bridges in their minds long before anyone else did. The only way to break new ground or move into uncharted territory is to look beyond the immediate and see the big picture. How to acquire the wisdom of big picture thinking. If you desire to seize new opportunities and open new horizons, then you need to add big picture thinking to your abilities. To become a good thinker, better able to see the big picture, keep in mind the following suggestions. 1. Don't strive for certainty. Big picture thinkers are comfortable with ambiguity. They don't try to force every observation or piece of data into pre-formulated mental cubbyholes. They think broadly and can juggle many seemingly contradictory thoughts in their minds. If you want to cultivate the ability to think big picture, then you must get used to embracing and dealing with complex and diverse ideas. 2. Learn from every experience. Big picture thinkers broaden their outlook by striving to learn from every experience. They don't rest on their successes, they learn from them. More importantly, they learn from their failures. They can do that because they remain teachable. Varied experiences, both positive and negative, help you see the big picture. The greater the variety of experience and success, the more potential to learn you have. If you desire to be a big picture thinker, then get out there and try a lot of things. Take a lot of chances, and take time to learn after every victory or defeat. 3. Gain insight from a variety of people. Big picture thinkers learn from their experiences, but they also learn from experiences they don't have. That is, they learn by receiving insight from others, from customers, employees, colleagues, and leaders. If you desire to broaden your thinking and see more of the big picture, then seek out counselors to help you. But be wise in whom you ask for advice. Gaining insight from a variety of people doesn't mean stopping anyone and everyone in hallways and grocery store lines and asking what they think about a given subject. Be selective. Talk to people who know and care about you, who know their field, and who bring experience deeper and broader than your own. 4. Give yourself permission to expand your world. If you want to be a big picture thinker, you will have to go against the flow of the world. Society wants to keep people in boxes. Most people are married mentally to the status quo. They want what was, not what can be. They seek safety in simple answers. To think big picture, you need to give yourself permission to go a different way, to break new ground, to find new worlds to conquer. And when your world does get bigger, you need to celebrate. Never forget there is more out there in the world than what you've experienced. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep looking at the big picture. If you desire to be a good thinker, that's what you need to do. Thinking question. Am I thinking beyond myself and my world so that I process ideas with a holistic perspective? Chapter 2. Engage in focused thinking. He did each thing as if he did nothing else. Spoken of novelist Charles Dickens. Philosopher Bertrand Russell once asserted, "To be able to concentrate for a considerable time is essential to difficult achievement." Sociologist Robert Lind observed that knowledge is power only if a man knows what facts are not to bother about. Focused thinking removes distractions and mental clutter so that you can concentrate on an issue and think with clarity. Focused thinking can do several things for you. 1. Focused thinking harnesses energy toward a desired goal. Focus can bring energy and power to almost anything, whether physical or mental. If you're learning how to pitch a baseball and you want to develop a good curveball, then focused thinking while practicing will improve your technique. If you need to refine the manufacturing process of your product, focused thinking will help you develop the best method. If you want to solve a difficult mathematics problem, focused thinking helps you break through to the solution. The greater the difficulty of a problem or issue, the more focused thinking time is necessary to solve it. 2. Focused thinking gives ideas time to develop. I love to discover and develop ideas. I often bring my creative team together for brainstorming and creative thinking. When we first get together, we try to be exhaustive in our thinking in order to generate as many ideas as possible. The birthing of a potential breakthrough often results from sharing many good ideas. But to take ideas to the next level, you must shift from being expansive in your thinking to being selective. I have discovered that a good idea can become a great idea when it is given focus time. It's true that focusing on a single idea for a long time can be very frustrating. I've often spent days focusing on a thought and trying to develop it, only to find that I could not improve the idea. But sometimes, my perseverance in focused thinking pays off. That brings me great joy. And when focused thinking is at its best, not only does the idea grow, but so do I. 3. Focused thinking brings clarity to the target. I consider golf one of my favorite hobbies. It's a wonderfully challenging game. I like it because the objectives are so clear. Professor William Mobley of the University of South Carolina made the following observation about golf. One of the most important things about golf is the presence of clear goals. You see the pins. You know the par. It's neither too easy nor unattainable. You know your average score, and there are competitive goals. Competitive with par, with yourself, and others. These goals give you something to shoot at. In work, as in golf, goals motivate. One time on the golf course, I followed a golfer who neglected to put the pin back in the hole after he putted. Because I could not see my target, I couldn't focus properly. My focus quickly turned to frustration and to poor play. To be a good golfer, a person needs to focus on a clear target. The same is true in thinking. Focus helps you to know the goal and to achieve it. 4. Focused thinking will take you to the next level. No one achieves greatness by becoming a generalist. You don't hone a skill by diluting your attention to its development. The only way to get to the next level is to focus. No matter whether your goal is to increase your level of play, sharpen your business plan, improve your bottom line, develop your subordinates, or solve personal problems, you need to focus. Author Harry A. Overstreet observed, "The immature mind hops from one thing to another. The mature mind seeks to follow through." Where should you focus your thinking? Does every area of your life deserve dedicated, focused thinking time? Of course, the answer is no. Be selective, not exhaustive in your focused thinking. For me, that means dedicating in-depth thinking time to 4 areas: leadership, creativity, communication, and intentional networking. Your choices will probably differ from mine. Here are a few suggestions to help you figure them out. Identify your priorities. First, take into account your priorities for yourself, your family, and your team. Author, consultant, and award-winning thinker Edward de Bono quipped, "A conclusion is a place where you get tired of thinking." Unfortunately, many people land on priorities based on where they run out of steam. You certainly don't want to do that, nor do you want to let others set your agenda. There are many ways to determine priorities. If you know yourself well, begin by focusing on your strengths, the things that make best use of your skills and God-given talents. You might also focus on what brings the highest return and reward. Do what you enjoy most and do best. You could use the 80-20 rule. Give 80% of your effort to the top 20%, most important, activities. Another way is to focus on exceptional opportunities that promise a huge return. It comes down to this: give your attention to the areas that bear fruit. Discover your gifts. Not all people are self-aware and have a good handle on their own skills, gifts, and talents. They're a little like the comic strip character Charlie Brown. One day after striking out in a baseball game, he says, "Rats, I'll never be a big league player. I just don't have it. All my life I've dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but I'll never make it." To which Lucy replies, "Charlie Brown, you're thinking too far ahead. What you need to do is set more immediate goals for yourself." For a moment, Charlie Brown sees a ray of hope. "Immediate goals?" he says. "Yes," answers Lucy. "Start with the next inning. When you go out to pitch, see if you can walk out to the mound without falling down." I've met many individuals who grew up in a household full of Lucys. They received little encouragement or affirmation, and as a result, seem at a loss for direction. If you have that kind of background, you need to work extra hard to figure out what your gifts are. Take a personality profile, such as DISC or Myers-Briggs. Interview positive friends and family members to see where they think you shine. Spend some time reflecting on past successes. If you're going to focus your thinking in your areas of strength, you need to know what they are. Develop your dream. If you want to achieve great things, you need to have a great dream. If you're not sure of your dream, use your focused thinking time to help you discover it. If your thinking has returned to a particular area time after time, you may be able to discover your dream there. Give it more focused time and see what happens. Once you find your dream, move forward without second guessing. Take the advice of Satchel Paige. Don't look back. Something might be gaining on you. The younger you are, the more likely you will give your attention to many things. That's good, because if you're young, you're still getting to know yourself, your strengths and weaknesses. If you focus your thinking on only one thing and your aspirations change, then you've wasted your best mental energy. As you get older and more experienced, the need to focus becomes more critical. The farther and higher you go, the more focused you can be, and you need to be. How can you stay focused? Once you have a handle on what you should think about, you must decide how to better focus on it. Here are 5 suggestions to help you with the process. 1. Remove distractions. Removing distractions is no small matter in our current culture, but it's critical. How do you do it? First, by maintaining the discipline of practicing your priorities. Don't do easy things first, or hard things first, or urgent things first. Do first things first, the activities that give you the highest return. In that way, you keep the distractions to a minimum. Second, insulate yourself from distractions. I've found that I need blocks of time to think without interruptions. I've mastered the art of making myself unavailable when necessary and going off to my thinking place so that I can work without interruptions. Because of my responsibilities as founder of 3 companies, however, I am always aware of the tension between my need to remain accessible to others as a leader and my need to withdraw from them to think. The best way to resolve the tension is to understand the value of both activities. Walking slowly through the crowd allows me to connect with people and know their needs. Withdrawing from the crowd allows me to think of ways to add value to them. My advice to you is to place value on and give attention to both. If you naturally withdraw, then make sure to get out among people more often. If you're always on the go and rarely withdraw for thinking time, then remove yourself periodically so that you can unleash the potential of focused thinking. And wherever you are, be there. 2. Make time for focused thinking. Once you have a place to think, you need the time to think. Because of the fast pace of our culture, people tend to multitask, but that's not always a good idea. Switching from task to task can cost you up to 40% efficiency. According to researchers, if you're trying to accomplish many things at the same time, you'll get more done by focusing on one task at a time, not by switching constantly from one task to another. Years ago, I realized that my best thinking time occurs in the morning. Whenever possible, I reserve my mornings for thinking and writing. One way to gain time for focused thinking is to impose upon yourself a rule that one company implemented. Don't allow yourself to look at email until after 10 a.m. Instead, focus your energies on your number 1 priority. Put non-productive time wasters on hold so that you can create thinking time for yourself. 3. Keep items of focus before you. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great transcendental thinker, believed, concentration is the secret of strength in politics, in war, in trade, in short, in all management of human affairs. To help me concentrate on the things that matter, I work to keep important items before me. One way is to ask my assistant, Linda Eggers, to keep bringing it up, asking me about it, giving me additional information in reference to it. I'll also keep a file or page on my desk so that I see it every day as I work. That strategy has successfully helped me for 30 years to stimulate and sharpen ideas. If you've never done it, I recommend that you try it. I'll tell you more about it in the section on reflective thinking. 4. Set goals. I believe goals are important. The mind will not focus until it has clear objectives. But the purpose of goals is to focus your attention and give you direction, not to identify a final destination. As you think about your goals, note that they should be clear enough to be kept in focus, close enough to be achieved, helpful enough to change lives. Those guidelines will get you going. And be sure to write down your goals. If they're not written, I can almost guarantee that they're not focused enough. And if you really want to make sure they're focused, take the advice of David Belasco, who says, "If you can't write your idea on the back of my business card, you don't have a clear idea." Even if you look back years from now and think your goals were too small, they will have served their purpose if they provide you with direction. 5. Question your progress. Take a good look at yourself from time to time to see whether you are actually making progress. That is the most accurate measure of whether you're making the best use of focused thinking. Ask yourself, am I seeing a return for my investment of focused thinking time? Is what I am doing getting me closer to my goals? Am I headed in a direction that helps me to fulfill my commitments, maintain my priorities, and realize my dreams? What are you giving up to go up? No one can go to the highest level and remain a generalist. My dad used to say, find the one thing you do well and don't do anything else. I've found that to do well at a few things, I've had to give up many things. As I worked on this chapter, I spent some time reflecting on the kinds of things I've given up. Here are the main ones. I can't know everyone. I love people, and I'm outgoing. Put me into a room full of people and I feel energized. So it goes against my grain to restrict myself from spending time with lots of people. To compensate for that, I've done a couple of things. First, I've chosen a strong inner circle of people. They not only provide tremendous professional help, but they also make life's journey much more pleasant. Second, I ask certain friends to catch me up on what's happening in the lives of other friends. I usually do that when I'm traveling and can't block out the time I would need for focused thinking. I can't do everything. There are only a few exceptional opportunities in any person's lifetime. That's why I strive for excellence in a few things rather than a good performance in many. That's cost me. Because of my workload, I also have to skip doing many things that I would love to do. For example, every week I hand off projects that I think would be fun to do myself. I practice the 10-80-10 principle with the people to whom I'm delegating a task. I help with the first 10% by casting vision, laying down parameters, providing resources, and giving encouragement. Then, once they've done the middle 80%, I come alongside them again and help them take whatever it is the rest of the way, if I can. I call it putting the cherry on top. I can't go everywhere. Every conference speaker and author has to travel a lot. Before I began doing much speaking, that seemed like a glamorous life. But after logging several million miles, I know what kind of a toll it can take. Ironically, I still love traveling for pleasure with my wife, Margaret. It's one of our great joys. She and I could take 10 vacations a year and enjoy every one of them. Yet we can't because so much of my time is consumed doing what I was called to do: help people to grow personally and to develop as leaders. I can't be well-rounded. Being focused also keeps me from being well-rounded. I tell people, 99% of everything in life I don't need to know about. I try to focus on the 1% that gives me the highest return. And of the remaining 99, Margaret keeps me aware of whatever I need to know. It's one of the ways I keep from getting totally out of balance in my life. Being willing to give up some of the things you love in order to focus on what has the greatest impact isn't an easy lesson to learn. But the earlier you embrace it, the sooner you can dedicate yourself to excellence in what matters most. Thinking question. Am I dedicated to removing distractions and mental clutter so that I can concentrate with clarity on the real issue? Chapter 3. Harness creative thinking. The joy is in creating, not maintaining. Vince Lombardi, NFL Hall of Fame coach. Creativity is pure gold, no matter what you do for a living. Annette Moser-Wellman, author of The 5 Faces of Genius, asserts, the most valuable resource you bring to your work and to your firm is your creativity. More than what you get done, more than the role you play, more than your title, more than your output, It's your ideas that matter. Despite the importance of a person's ability to think with creativity, few people seem to possess the skill in abundance. If you're not as creative as you would like to be, you can change your way of thinking. Creative thinking isn't necessarily original thinking. In fact, I think people mythologize original thought. Most often, creative